Every day you wake up, follow the same routine, walk the same roads, meet the same people, scroll the same videos, and sleep again. But what if I tell you that your life is not really under your control? What if your mind has been programmed without you even realizing it? Once, there was a young man named Arjun who lived a life that looked exactly the same every single day. Every morning he woke up, took a shower, wore his clothes, ate breakfast, and left the house. He walked on the same road, passed the same shops, saw the same people, and went to the same place to do the same work. Some people he greeted, some people he avoided, and some people he sat with even though their conversations never changed. After finishing his work, he returned home through the same streets, picked up his phone, scrolled endless short videos, sometimes watched a movie, and then slept. The next day, the exact same cycle repeated again. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and months slowly became years. One evening, while sitting alone, Arjun suddenly wondered, why does my life feel like a program running on autopilot? He realized something strange. His daily routine, the people around him, the content he watched, the habits he followed, and even the thoughts in his head were all repeating patterns. It was almost like a computer program controlling him. He wasn't consciously deciding most of his actions. They were happening automatically. Around the same time, Arjun heard about a famous athlete who had once struggled in his career before transforming himself completely. The story fascinated him. The athlete had once admitted that he used to be careless about food, fitness, and discipline. Even though he was talented and already playing at a professional level, he was not achieving the success he wanted. His performance kept declining. One day, after a particularly disappointing season, he looked at himself in the mirror after practice and felt deeply disappointed. He realized that if he continued living the same way, nothing would ever change. That moment became the turning point of his life. Arjun kept thinking about that story. It made him curious about how people change their lives so dramatically. During his search, he came across an explanation by neuroscientists who believed that by the age of 35, about 95% of a person's emotional behavior is controlled by the subconscious mind. This subconscious system is made up of beliefs, habits, emotional reactions, and repeated behaviors learned over time. The remaining 5% is the conscious mind, the part that says things like, I want to change, I want to become successful, I want to be healthier, or I want to learn something new. Arjun suddenly understood something important. Every day, his conscious mind wanted improvement, but his subconscious habits kept pulling him back into the same routine. It was like a tiny 5% trying to fight against a giant 95%, and every day, the giant was winning. That is why people promise themselves that starting Monday, they will wake up early, start exercising, study harder, or stop wasting time, yet nothing really changes. One night, Arjun accepted a difficult truth. If the subconscious mind was that powerful, then fighting it directly was probably useless. Instead of fighting it, maybe it needed to be reprogrammed. Just like computer software, the source code needed to be rewritten. Arjun began studying how habits and beliefs are formed. He discovered that most of our beliefs come from repeated exposure. A child does not learn language from a textbook, he learns by listening to people around him. In the same way, if someone grows up hearing phrases like, you are not smart enough, money is hard to earn, or you will never achieve big things, the brain slowly accepts those ideas as truth. Over time, these repeated messages become the internal voice guiding behavior. Arjun realized that many of his own thoughts sounded similar. Whenever he considered improving himself, his mind would say things like, you're lazy, you can't wake up early, you're not disciplined, or this is too difficult. Those sentences felt like facts, but in reality, they were just old programs. One day, he decided to experiment with changing those programs. He started paying attention to the words he used when talking to himself. Whenever a negative thought appeared, he replaced it with a new sentence. Instead of saying, "I'm lazy," he said, "I'm learning to be disciplined." Instead of, "I can't wake up early," he said, "I'm becoming someone who wakes up early." At first, it felt strange and artificial. His mind didn't believe the new sentences, but he continued anyway. He also learned something else. Thoughts alone are not powerful unless they are connected with emotions. The brain communicates through thoughts, but the body understands feelings. If the body does not feel the possibility of change, it will never take action. So, Arjun began imagining his future with strong emotion. Every night before sleeping, he visualized a better version of himself, someone focused, energetic, confident, and disciplined. He imagined waking up early, exercising, studying deeply, and feeling proud of his progress. Slowly, something started shifting. His attention began moving away from problems and toward solutions. Instead of wasting hours scrolling through videos, he started listening to podcasts and reading books that helped him grow. One morning, something surprising happened. Arjun woke up before his alarm rang. For a moment, he wanted to go back to sleep, but the image of the disciplined version of himself appeared in his mind. He got up, put on his shoes, and went outside for a short run. It was not a long run, not even very impressive, but it was the first step. The next day, he repeated it. Then again the next day. Each small action strengthened the new identity he was creating. Whenever he succeeded at even a small task, he reminded himself, "See, I can do this." These tiny proofs slowly convinced both his mind and his body. Weeks passed. Arjun noticed that his habits were changing without much struggle. The same mind that once pushed him toward comfort was now guiding him toward improvement. The autopilot program was still running, but the program itself had been rewritten. He began reading about successful people and realized that many of them had used similar methods. They controlled their internal dialogue, visualized success, and took consistent small actions until those actions became habits. Months later, Arjun met an old friend who had not seen him for a long time. The friend was surprised by the change. Arjun looked more confident, healthier, and energetic. When asked what happened, Arjun smiled and said something simple. "Nothing magical happened overnight. I just changed the story running in my mind." He explained that the mind is like fertile soil. Whatever thoughts are planted repeatedly will eventually grow into beliefs, and those beliefs will shape actions. If someone constantly repeats negative ideas, life will slowly move in that direction. But if someone deliberately plants better thoughts, supports them with strong feelings, and proves them with small actions, the entire direction of life can change. Arjun's days were still structured. He still woke up, worked, met people, and returned home. But the biggest difference was awareness. He was no longer just a passenger in his life. He had become the programmer of his own mind. And once that happened, the same routine that once felt like a prison became a powerful system, pushing him closer to the future he wanted every single day.